So I'm building a SaaS, but is it even worth continuing? In this episode of the journey on building this freelance app, I will show you how I want to validate it, how I already has some users testing it, and then we'll see if it's worth continuing. I will show you some in-depth. So follow along. So in last episode, I introduced you to the project, a freelance app where you can have an overview of your economy, because it can be really difficult as a freelancer. I'm a freelancer myself, so I have this problem. But building the product is one thing. I used Cursor, so it took maybe 4 to 6 hours to actually build a functioning app. But validating it and getting users to test it and then maybe even in the end pay for it is a completely different story, and that is on hard mode. So in this video, I will try to build a landing page and show you how you can get feedback from users, and then based on that, try to make the app better and then see if it's something that people actually want to use in the future. But why even validate? Everybody talks about validating your SaaS, but there are some key reasons to doing so. First of all, you avoid losing a lot of time. I've seen plenty of people who have used 1 year or 2 years building the perfect product, and then they just hope that users will come in and pay for it. But they haven't even tested it or talked to the users, and they don't really solve a problem that is a pain where people want to pay for it. So that's one of the reasons. Then there's also the money issue. It's not free. Of course, you can use your own time, but if you need other people to help you out, like let's say you are not a technical founder, you will probably need a developer, or you will need some sort of subscription to actually build it out with Cursor or Lovable. So the quicker you can test it, the less money you will actually lose. Then there's just the mental energy you have to put into actually building a product. So let's say you really invested your time into it. It will also be really hard for you to just say, I don't want to continue with this. And then you just end up using more and more time and then hope that people would use it if you just build another feature. But if they didn't even want to give out their email, then they probably won't even pay when you get to that point. So stop wasting your energy, build an MVP, test it out, and then if it doesn't fit the market, try to pivot or maybe find another problem to solve. Okay, so how have I actually validated it already? So I posted on LinkedIn, as you can see here, and I just maybe asked for like, can somebody help me out? And then some people actually commented that they found the app interesting and they even thought about building it themselves. And I got 3 people to actually participate in trying out the early version, and then in exchange for that, all I asked for was that they have to give some feedback, and then I built out a Google form with questions where they can fill it out. So that's like my first step, but let's dive into the actual Google form. Okay, so you can see here I just made a Google form. Unfortunately it's in Danish, but the idea is that you go ahead and ask them questions that you can use later on to understand, do you have some sort of product market fit? What can you change? What else do you need? And also ask what will they actually pay for it once the app is at a level they think is fair for what they need in order to actually solve the problem that they have. And I asked those questions, and one of them gave me so much feedback, which is really handy for when I want to maybe continue on building the app. But I won't continue until I validated it a bit more. So having 3 people test it out for free is one level of validation. The next level is building a landing page where I will create a waitlist. So the landing page is something I actually already designed, and I am building it out in webflow. So let's have a look at how that is going so far. So what is my process for actually making this landing page? So in order to make a landing page, I need to first sketch it out in Figma. For projects like this, I actually like to go to like almost high fidelity and then just find some inspiration and then build it out. the key here is to have a killer headline in the hero section, and also to really tell the value, not the features. So what is in it for me as a user? And then when they scroll through it, they can be like, oh, I didn't know that, or I really need that. So give them some sort of aha moment as to what their problem is, and that this software is actually solving that problem. So I am doing this by talking directly to the user and talking into that as a freelancer, a lot of people don't know how to have an overview of the economy and the capacity, and that a sick day and vacation leave is something that actually costs money as a freelancer. So I try to talk about that throughout the landing page, and then of course try to make it look beautiful. And then I just have a clear CTA saying that they can sign up for the waiting list, and then a modal shows where they can put in their information, where I also just quickly state in a short description what they will get for actually signing up. And then when I captured those email, it will send it to MailerLite later on, and then I will have the email list. I haven't actually planned out if I will do a email flow, but I will probably try to have some sort of flow, or at least some sort of plan with updates, so I can keep the list a bit warm. Because let's say it will take me 1 to 2 months to actually finish the project with authentication and with the Stripe implementation and stuff like that. I want to keep the list warm so they don't forget what they signed up to. And then when we launch, well, we'll have to see if we get there, because we need the feedback first. Then we might need to iterate, and then we can see if we want to continue on the project or if we should find something else to build. So if you want to see if I can get my first paying customer, follow along in this series. I don't know if we will get there. In this video, we are trying to validate, and then in the next one, we will see how it goes. So follow along, and remember to subscribe. It's free, and then you will of course get notified whenever I have new videos. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.